I mean, I look at life like, I don't know how many people you've gone to a funeral for, and hopefully not many, but I've been to a few. And whenever someone gets up there and speaks on the deceased, whether family or friend, what they speak about in the eulogy is character, what they stood for, what they never how much money they had, or houses, or cars, or possessions, about the positive role model they were, what they gave back to society. They took X and they gave 10X back. It's that life we want to live.
What am I going to do today? How am I going to make it happen? That's my biggest fear. But everything I'm doing is not about this success or that success. It's to build an impact. You know, that you've walked this fucking earth. You were here. There's footprints behind you of motivation others can follow when you're dead and gone to pursue greatness in their own theater of life. It's the eulogy of life. One day, someone's going to speak on your behalf. When you're dead and gone, what are they gonna say? With tears in their eyes, man. You know, like, this guy, man, saved my life 12 years ago. I can't thank him enough. This guy right here, I can't repay him. But I'm gonna make sure my son knows his name. And all the lessons I learned from him, my path, that's what we're talking about, guys. That's the life, man. That's when you're living. Not just alive, waiting for it to pass by. I want you to think about this, guys. The eulogy of life. What are they going to say at your death, at your funeral? One of your friends or family members stands up to speak on the behalf of the life you lived. What are they going to say? They're going to talk about character. They're going to talk about something of your ability to, while living, it still is alive in other people. What you've given back, the legacy is what I'm talking about. That's what we're building here today. When you're fucking pushing everything else, yes, you have to walk through the muds to get to the higher ground. There is no path, the easy street, that doesn't go through the fucking sewer. Think of that, guys. As we're going here and you're pushing the pain out, and you're trying to get that wreck, that's where it all matters, man. That eulogy is gonna speak volumes, even though you won't be there. It's gonna speak volumes in your behalf. That begins today, right now, what we do. This says it all. We stand for something.
And they come up to me, they wait in a line, 3 hours, whatever it is, they wait in line just to tell me thank you. They go, you changed my life. You know, I lost 100 pounds. Or even the stories I like even better, they go, I went back to school and got my degree. Or you know what, I decided to start paying child support. You know, I became the person, a role model, an example. I quit heroin addiction. I was able to kick my cocaine habits. You know, and you see the zest, this love in their eyes, this fire, and you had an impact with that. You know, people are like, hey man, you know, congratulations, you've done good. I'm like, I'm just a shell of so many people better than me. From my parents, my sister, my competition, my enemies, my coaches, teachers, all these people that gave a shit about me for moments, that challenged me. And, you know, when I was down, you know, there's people that lend a hand to get me back up. I try to pay it forward. And that's a good life, man. You know, fly back to LA on Monday. If that plane goes down, everyone's freaking out. I'll be the only guy being like, it's all good. It's cool. I appreciate the time I was given. The best I could. Time I had. Ability to do it. I don't know how much more time I got. So I try to live on something that, and I can't take any of it with me. I really can't. You know, maybe I can take the memories. I think in the world we live in, there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of products out there. What's lacking is the aspiration and motivation to pursue it. You know, and if we can just turn that switch, we all have that internal drive inside of us, that undying potential, the ability to be more. It just needs some nourishing. And the cool thing about it is, like, when I was growing up in sports, this is where I really learned it all, on the fields of friendly strife, where failure became my friend. Meaning, I didn't look at failure as saying, oh, I failed. I look at it as a report card.
So I got to reevaluate my efforts and then apply my strengths to my weaknesses to fix a weak chain in the chain of life. So therefore, when I go back to that endeavor that once destroyed me, knocked me on my ass, you know, I can learn from it, then find the intestinal fortitude, stand back up, reface that challenge, and now victorious. That's a really sweet high. There's no chemical drug that can reproduce that feeling.
Of winning from failure, turning failure into, or defeat into success.
It really is, because if you look at all of our heroes, all of our role models, you know, from inventors to athletes to singer-songwriters, movies, all these people, they all failed a million times before they ever succeeded. You know, but we never see the failure. We only see the triumph. But every success is a spread of thousands of failures. And each failure improves the invention, like Thomas Edison with these lights, 1,093 times. It failed before it succeeded. I mean, I can't say I've really given a valiant effort more than 10 times before I said, maybe I could try something new. This guy did it over 1,000 times.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do that off work. You've got to love it.
Right.
And when you love something, you never lose, because failure right there is a report card. You know, so and in the gym, what I love about the gym and my website is really not really all about just working out, but using the gym theater for motivation of everyday life, because the gym's non-subjective.
Right.
Meaning no one can give it to you or take it away. The harder you work, the better you get.
Right.
It's the fairest form of society. So you go in there with a belief, a passion, that yeah, where I am isn't who I am, it's just where I am, where I'm gonna go. That's your belief, that's your directional path. And every day you go in there and you start to hone in these character building blocks of character, dedication, due diligence, sacrifice. You start to learn what they mean, integrity and honor. And so you stick true to your words. You back your words up with action. They're not hollowly spoken. And every day, 5:30 in the morning, you get up, even though it's raining, your competition is sleeping, you're on your own path. You go in there and you start to push through the pain. They always say pain's temporary, you know, pride's forever.
Right.
That only exists if you push through the pain to get that pride.
Right.
If you quit in the pain, then my friend, that pain lasts forever.
Right.
The only reason why pain is temporary is because you push past it to find the pride. And at the end of the day, all we remember is the pride, the exhilaration of overcoming adversity to achieve something. That's why pride lasts forever, because it's so much more powerful than pain. But you've got to walk through the mud in life. There's no path to easy street that doesn't go through the sewer, right? So this site, you go in there and you start to build this body. And you look in the mirror months later and you're like, damn, man, I did that. Wow, that's awesome.
I love that you're living proof, though.
But check it out.
Do you know how many people I hear speech
at,
this and they are not living proof of this?
A lot, because they're bullshitters.
Yeah.
They really are. I can't stand the people that talk the game but can't walk it. You know, these trainers out there that had the degrees on book smarts but don't have the street smarts to apply it.
Right.
But you know, the thing is like, so once you transform your body physically, that's great. But in order to transform your body, you had to learn what sacrifice is, dedication, due diligence, sweat equity. You had to learn those things. And as you look in the mirror more capable physically, the greatest gift of all is given to you. This mind strength. Because this is everything.
Right.
This guy doesn't believe it, this guy can't do it, right? So you build this confidence. It's almost orgasmic. Because everything in life.
Now you're talking my terms.
Yeah. But in the gym, so through it all, what we really built is the belief. Hard work pays off. That's what I learned as a young kid. I started doing push-ups and stuff at a young age, not for bulging biceps, but because I saw that hard work here outside the field. I was a little faster than my competition, I had a little more energy. So I increased the possibility of success. I diminished the inevitability of failure. And when failure came, I was okay with that for one too. Because it's the journey, it's the marathon of life, not the sprint of life, that really people remember. You know, there is no quick fix to long-term situations, nor is there a universal path to individual success. Each individual must find their own way. So if you're successful, I can't copy you. You've already done it. And the world already has one Brad. We don't need another Brad. No
That's
offense.
for sure.
No offense.
Believe me,
But
you're not alone on that.
I mean, I got a lot of guys that come to me and girls are like, hey, I want to do what you're doing. I go, don't do what I'm doing. I've already done it.
Right.
Do what you really believe you want to do, because then it's not work again. So
Right.
we come back to 360, you got to be passion-based into something.
What I'd like to do is find out a little bit more about you and your fitness career. Obviously, I know that you've been in the fitness modeling industry for 6 years now.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, I got into it right at the end of my military career.
Okay.
Basically, always involved with sports, always working out, always in shape, enjoyed that passion of being healthy, you know. You know, I think when you're in shape, life is more fun. You get to run through it instead of walk through it. The world becomes your playground. So I was always very active in that. I went to West Point U.S. Military Academy.
Okay.
Went through that, got commissioned as an officer, I was an Army Ranger. And at the time, I was a company commander in charge of 180 some guys. And I was just in a hotel lobby, and I was sitting there and just minding my own business, and actually, with my buddies getting drunk is what we were doing, and having a good time. And this guy came up to me. He was an agent. I didn't know him for the likes of me, but he was there for some convention of agent talents and stuff. I didn't know what it was all about. And he goes, "Hey, are you here for the convention?" I go, "No." And he looked kind of weird, man. He looked kind of like creepy. So I said, "Bro, whatever you're here for, I'm not here for that, man." I'll rest assured that's the case. Anyway, he gave me his card. I did some back research and I looked him up, man. I found he was a legit agent. I called him up because I don't ever want to sit back and wonder what if on life, So I gave it a chance, I called him and go, "What do you think, man? I come up there and we'll do some shoots." He goes, "Let's do it." I went up there, we did a test shoot, landed the cover of Muscle and Fitness for the U.S. right out of the gate, the first job, And they go, "Wow, you're so lucky, man. You're so lucky." And since then, it's been about 200 covers. I've been, on TV shows and films, a lot of acting work. I've been doing infomercials and, product design, all kind of cool stuff. And it all started from then. And people are like, "Wow, so right place, right time. You were lucky, right? Is that how it is?" And I go, "Yeah, there is a degree of luck, but what luck really is having a passion towards something you believe in, and that you're training that every single day in and day out. You train that, and you believe in it, and you master it, and you remaster with no one watching, hoping one day that your talent that's perfected collides with an opportunity to show it off." And that's what it was for me. I believed in health, I believed in fitness, I was always training, I was always in good shape because I enjoyed that. And one day it collided with an opportunity that someone could, introduce to me a way of using that. And that's how it started.
At the end of the day, it's all we got, man. Who knows? I might die on the way home. So, I'm damn sure glad I left it here. So, die tomorrow, die tonight, whatever. I'm not morbid. I'm looking to die. But it does go down that way. I did the best I could with the time I had and the ability I had to do it. So today, when I go to sleep, I can still make that statement. I still did the best I could, the time I had, and the ability of which to do it. So, I'm still batting 1,000. Hopefully always will be. Thanks for watching.
I get asked a lot, what is the secret of achieving goals? How do you really quantitate it? How do you put it down so every day you know if you're going in that direction of success or maybe you're altered? And people are like, "Man, is it your genetics? Is it your potential? Is it," when it comes down to it, success has nothing to do with potential. It's all about the perseverance of somebody. That will override any endeavor. If you throw shit against the wall, eventually something will stick. You guys that have this potential, don't have this potential, that shit dies. What continues to last forever is a perseverance to always show up. That's what champions do. Every single champion is the same as every ordinary person. The only differential is that they show up to the event every single day. They see failure as a learning curve. They welcome failure. You learn more from failure than you ever will from success. So showing up and getting knocked on your ass, finding intestinal fortitude, stand back up and re-face that endeavor is going to be the overriding factor that makes a difference. How do you know when you're doing those things? The small things in life add up to those big monumental things. When I say the small things, it's a character building block, that your name means something. You hold value to your name. If you drop trash on the ground, you pick it up because that's your responsibility. You hold value to yourself. When you shake someone's hand, you look them in the eye and give them a firm handshake because you're here for a purpose. Everything you do to the best of your ability. It doesn't matter what you're doing, it's the fact that you're doing it, so therefore it means something to you. That's going to build a legacy because, the title out there doesn't mean shit. You win the title, fine. That title will not get you another title. What you're trying to build is a legacy. Footprints behind you that are left for motivation for someone else to follow. Legacy is built daily through the character, through the willpower, the code of conduct within somebody. And that's the perseverance, showing up every single day. That will always achieve your goal. It doesn't matter what you're born with. It doesn't matter your potential, how much, the silver spoon of money you have. All of that can be attained if you show up and you're willing to risk failure for success. That's my tip.
So I saw the benefit of hard work. So basically what it was telling me, if I did this right, I had more success in this arena. So I saw that correlation there. So I started working hard and hard in the gym for sports. Then when I got into the military, my gym time was still the same, but the means to it was different type of workout dictated to my end state goal of where I wanted to go. to be a good soldier, you know? And now into fitness modeling, again, the gym, the means to the end to be a successful fitness model with now over 200 covers, you know, to hone in on my weaknesses, you know, and when I came up short, why? It's a nice report card, so I can reapply my efforts more effectively, make it most efficient time in there, and repair that weak chain in the chain of life, to be the best I can be. And at the end of the day, that's all I really can control. You know, the rest of it's you know, you can't always control everything, you know? No. All you can do is be the best you can and show up. And that's really the difference, I think, from a winner to a loser. The winner has the ability to show up. He always shows up. You know, even though he gets knocked on his ass, he finds that intestinal fortitude, stand back up and reface that challenge, you know? If you throw enough shit against the wall, eventually something sticks, you know? And that's another great thing I want to tell you, your viewers too, that some people think, you know, oh, I don't have the genetics for it, I don't have the potential, you know, all this stuff, and so they shoot themselves in the foot. You know, they start thinking negatively, I can never do it because I don't have the genetics. I guarantee you, in every single feat, in every single triumph, every single hero you look up to, a role model, they have failed 1,000,000 times before they ever succeeded. So at the end of the day, what matters isn't the genetics, isn't the potential. What matters is a perseverance to always go to battle, you know? Willing to accept failure as a positive, you know? To always push past where your current barriers are. Every day to pay your dues. That guy will have his hand raised at the end of the day, you know?
Later in life, you know, it's hard to take that first step towards greatness in anyone's endeavor. That's the hardest step. But what's harder than that one step is later in life, as the windows close and the opportunities cease to exist, thinking back that you could have been great. So I always try to burn the midnight oil right now and give it all I have to prevent me from staying awake in the midnight hours, wondering what if.
And every morning I beat myself up because I don't know that there's enough time. You know, I believe in myself so much that there's more I can do. I'm at the tip of the iceberg, there's more I can be. But like, I'm just sitting there, I'm like, is there enough time? 36 years old, man. Starting to feel the aches a little bit, you know? You shouldn't hate it, because up until now, every single thing you've done has created that. There's no mistakes in life. If you don't like where you are right now, turn around and look at what you've done. You've built every single step to create this. No accidents. No accidents. Just taking the easy road too many times, not getting up, not going for that extra rep, putting that extra mile in, the little inches of life that add up to be first place or forgotten. No matter how we do it, and how we dot our I's and cross our T's in the preservation of life, we can never win that. It's a God-given right when we're born that we will die. We know that's coming, but our entire lifespan is about trying to live on, live on. Fuck living on. Live in the moment. Stop trying to be alive and fucking start living. Death is coming. When it comes, are you ready for it? Are you gonna stand up and dance at that fucking celebration? Or are you gonna be wishing, oh my God, because that's permanent, man. You can't change it. You can't reverse the clock, try to make amends and do it right. You don't have time to say you're sorry and make it right. No, it's over with. That day comes. It's like studying for a test. That day is gonna be tested. Do you pass or fail? It's a huge accountability of today. Just like I tell you guys, you know, if you want to get in shape and stuff, you need an end state goal. You need a marathon you're running in 90 days, a competition or something that makes today accountable. I got 90 days to make it right. I can't blow off today's responsibility to tomorrow because I lose 1/90th a chance to cross that finish line of the marathon, to get on stage and have a chance of winning it, to create a dream into reality. I got 1/90th of a chance today. I can't blow it up. I got accountability today. Death is the ultimate accountability. It's only fearful if it comes and you're not ready yet. That's when it's fearful. When you haven't been able to say goodbye to somebody. When you didn't live in the moment with a friend or loved one or family member. And you no longer have time to let them know what you think. That's when it becomes scary. You know, my dogs and my family and stuff, I love them to death. Every minute with them, I embrace, I love it. I never want it to end, but it will end. We come into this world by ourselves. We leave this world by ourselves. We had the opportunity to engage while here, but we leave alone. We leave with the memories and the embraces and the love and the experiences of life. We take that with us. And if we do it right, we leave footprints of legacy and motivation for others to follow and take the most out of life. Alive, but also living. Not so fearful for death that we become a self-paralysis in our own state, trying to preserve the inevitable. It doesn't work that way, guys. I'm gonna go into the perspective of death. Eye-opening, man. The ultimate status call. The ultimate accountability. I'm gonna tell you what accountability is. Not just in your life, but also others that you live with, and also ones that have lived before you. The accountability they give you. I'm also gonna talk about the fear of death. And I'm gonna erase that out of your mindset if I do justice for you. You will no longer be scared of death. If I can do all these. Not a shrink, guys. Just a dude that likes to go out and live life. And I've tried on both ways. I've had bad days, man, I'm feeling depressed. I've had good days where I feel invincible. I choose invincibility, man. I don't care how much time I have. I can die today. Today I can die. I'm okay with it. It's 5:15 in the morning. I got a day. I'm excited about it. If it doesn't come tomorrow, I'm okay with it. Because I've done everything I can up to now. I've turned every stone. I've made mistakes, but I gave my valiant effort each time. That's all I can do. I was the best I could be at the moment. Do I want more time? Sure. Sure I want more time. I want to do a lot of other things in life. But if I'm not granted them, I'm okay because I've done everything I can with the life I've had.
That, what you saw right there makes the journey worthwhile. I really do. I mean, that's where I get kind of emotional about it because it's not often that you live a life. I mean, we're all alive, few really live.
Yeah.
But we're all gonna die. You know, what we leave behind, we can't take our money or possessions or anything else, but we can take our memories. And what we can leave behind is a legacy, footprints that other people can follow to achieve their excellence or that natural high of life. So to do one thing that you love to do, for one.
Right.
And to have what you love to do actually transform people and see them lose. And if you look at some of them, it's amazing. When I first met them, they're kind of like shoulders were rolled down and didn't have a lot of belief in themselves. They're kind of like shy and not very confident. Well, they started to engage and started to work out. They started to feel in love with themselves. Now all of a sudden they talk all the time. Their shoulders are rolled back. They're walking with purpose. They're looking for greater dreams and stuff.
Right.
I keep in touch with all of them, and they're really doing great things in all their theaters of life. And it all started with a spark of just working out in the comforts of their own home. And we did collectively as a group. But there's so many people I know that are doing this at home and waking up like half an hour early and then going to work, at the same time in fifth gear.
Right.
Everyone else is just
Now
kind of
they're
like
ready
having the coffee, you're running circles around them because you're energized.
inspired.
Let's first talk about the fact that you can't control it. If we're gonna break this fear of death up, the first thing you have to understand is that you can't control it. Get your ego out of the equation. You cannot control this. Death is inevitable. It's above you. Stop trying to control it. Just like in your life, you have dreams and you have fears. Which one are you giving the most time to? Which day at 5:15 when you wake up, which one are you living? Your fears or your dreams? You're living one or the other. If you're really honest, you're probably giving too much of your attention to your fears. The preservation of the inevitable. You can't control it. Release it. Release it. You can't control it. And when you can't control it and you release that, it allows you the time and the clarity to put the effort into what you can control, which is making most of the time we have right the fuck now. The other thing that fears people about death is that it is a permanent situation. There is no going back. There is no reversing the clock, trying to make it right. It is done. You took the test, your grade stands. You can't take a retest, that's it, man. And that scares people because they're not ready for it. That's on them. Why does death scare you? Because you get one chance. It's the only thing I know besides birth that you only get one chance to do in your life. One opportunity. There's nothing else you get to do only once. Death. So do it right. You do it right by living a life to the fullest. Then when death comes, you've done it all. You're okay with it. It's only fearful if you still haven't done what you want to do. And time's up. Or you didn't say you're sorry. Or let that person know what you mean. And time's up on their life. And you can sit here and regret. Lesson learned. Reapplied. Failure. We fail. Learn from it. Next time we're stronger for it. So you don't make that mistake again to someone else you love. You learn from that experience, multiplying your life that you have right now. Yes, death gone in one aspect, but now alive in other aspects. What scares you about death is that you're not ready for it because you haven't done the fucking work yet. Haven't paid your dues, haven't become the person you want to be. What the fuck are you waiting for? I might not have tomorrow. You know, there's some things I wish I could go back and do a little better, but I did them the best of my ability with my intellect at that time, with my education, what I knew. Obviously, as you get older, you get smarter and more intelligent, you know, more savvy of social settings, business operations and stuff. But I made the best choice I could at the time. That's who I was. That created that failure or that default. You know, I learned from it, created me more strong and capable now. We don't learn in success, guys. Success, we don't learn shit. We only learn failure. How we came up short, that we see the gap where we are and where we want to go. That gap is a report card on how to fix that weak chain in the chain of life, how to reapply our efforts, make it more effective. So this is us, not here. This is a fucking us. And then we're ready to die whenever that comes. Because we don't have, you know, When you go to a gravesite, guys, you see XYZ buried here, right? A year of birth, a dash, and a year of death. It's what you do in the dash that will make someone come to visit that fucking gravestone. Whether it's to give respect to you, to be sad of your passing, or to find inspiration from you, even though you're dead and gone. It's a legacy you live on past. That's what creates the stories that make somebody, past your time become better through your actions. That's how you reach out and touch souls, guys. What you do in the dash. When you come to the gym, you have a birth and a death as well. You walk into the gym, that's your birth. You walk out of the gym, that's your death. It's what you do in the dash of the gym that will create something that inspires somebody else to come to the gym. Make every rep count, every rep does count. Separates you from the people that talk the shit, the people that create this shit for them to talk about. There's players and there's spectators. Your work today ensures you get to become one of them. It gets to ensure who's going to come up to your funeral. How's that eulogy going to be? Every one of these things is a deciding moment for you to figure out, is it worth it or not?